Welcome to the MLB Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from out here on the West Coast, still riding solo one more week. Josh Lander going to be looking at a Tuesday slate here in the MLB for you guys. Had an okay night there on Monday night, 1-2 minus half a unit. Never like to lose money or go under 500 in your bets, but we are still up 18-17 on the season. Up 1.54 units. We got the Baltimore Orioles right. They were underdogs there, so we got them at plus 120. That was the only one we got right because Milwaukee lost to Washington. Atlanta lost to the Angels. We needed them to actually combine for 10 runs, and the Angels won that game 4-1, so that was not even close to the over. Bad bet there, but we will look to right the ship here today on Tuesday and get you back to a few more units above 2 if we can over the last 3 weeks here on the MLB Coast to Coast pod. Definitely make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Continue to follow along. Check back in each and every weekday this season. We're bringing you these videos during the MLB regular season. Also want you to head to thelines.com. Check out the content we have up on the site for you right now. And use that odds finder tool as always. A nice little chart there right in front of you with all the available odds for each bet you might want to make from all these different books that are giving us bets this season. Let's jump right into bet number 1 for the day. And we're going to go back to fading the Yankees. Carlos Rodon has taken on the hill for them, and they're taking on the Tampa Bay Rays, who they just lost to 5-1. And it's that one run that they put up that I'm going back to, which is just their inability to score at this point. It's been said, and it's been drilled into the ground at this point, that without Aaron Judge at the peak of his powers anyway, because he's back and still getting back into rhythm after missing a bunch of time on the IL. So, without him in the lineup playing his best, essentially, I don't trust this offense. And Zach Eflin, despite the fact that, and he'll be on the mound for the Rays, and despite the fact that he's had a few bad outings over the course of the last 3 or 4 weeks, he's also had plenty of good ones, and he's taking on a Yankees team that is for sure a bottom 10 lineup against right-handed pitching this season. They have a 92 WRC plus there. Really bad. Want that obviously much closer to 115 or 20 if you can get it. 303 WOBA and a 399 slugging. They're not hitting out the ball out of the park for a lineup that was constructed around power. And Zach Eflin is looked really, really good when he's faced this team and pretty much anybody that's not quite as good against righties, with a bunch of righties in the lineup. And his 3.38 Sierra, his 25.5% K percentage, and his 1.02 whip bringing into this game are what I'm looking at. The velo hasn't really been down for him despite a couple bad starts, so I'm not really worried about Eflin. He's going to continue to be fine. And Carlos Rodon has not been fine since he came back from the IL. I've been kind of fading him, going under on his Ks last time out, and now we're taking basically fading him because we believe in Tampa Bay to win this game outright at minus 106 for 0.4 units. So feeling good about having the Rays back against the Yankees once more, especially as they're slight underdogs in this game. So next game up, Houston at Cleveland. And Houston gave us a scare yesterday as we went over 9 runs. At least I ended up going over 9 runs on them and fading Syndergaard, as everybody did. And actually, Syndergaard wasn't bad until he got donked and had to come out of the game because he got hit by a pitch but on the way back. But minus 175 for Houston's money line here at DraftKings, 0.4 units. We're talking about Framber Valdez for the Stros against Gavin Williams there for Cleveland. And Framber Valdez had a bad outing last time against the Texas Rangers, but other than that, has been absolutely incredible. 3.45 Sierra at 26% K rate. And that whip at about 1.14. Would love to see it a notch lower, but it's still fine. And the Guardians, not a good team when it comes to facing lefties. Definitely like a bottom, you might call them a bottom 3 offense versus left-handed pitching. They're really, really bad. 87 WRC plus, a 297 WOBA, and a 378 slugging percentage. Just really, really bad against lefties. I mean, the split for them is very stark and very clear that they're much better against right-handed pitching. So Framber Valdez is going to have a nice edge in this matchup over Gavin Williams, who has been all right at times. I mean, he's got about 20% K rate. The 1.3 whip, not really impressive. And that 5.09 Sierra is really what sort of troubles you with him. Really had some trouble against lineups such as this one that crush right-handed pitching the way that they do. And basically, I mean, if you look at the lefties on the Stros right now, namely Kyle Tucker, they are just absolutely mashing right-handed pitching so well that I don't really give Gavin Williams much of a shot in this one. And then we're back in Toronto. And we're back to backing the Baltimore Orioles whenever they're an underdog. I mean, and they're an away dog. They are 33-20 straight up on the road this season. And I believe in them once more, taking on Hyun-Jin Ryu, who hasn't pitched since June 1st of last year. That's about 13, 14 months that we're going now without him pitching in major league action at all. So the fact that the Orioles are once again underdogs against this Blue Jays team, I'm going to take them on the first 5, and really I'm going to back my guy Bradish, who let me down last time. I know it, but I'm going right back to him to basically handle this Toronto team in the first 5. Even money for Baltimore on the money line there to win the first 5 innings, 0.3 units on that. I think part of this is like Baltimore is so much better on offense against righties, against righties, and much worse against lefties, as they can just throw a barrage of lefties out there at you, just a platoon of them. But they're still a top 10 power offense when it comes to taking on left-handed pitching. They have the 7th highest slugging percentage, the 12th best weighted runs created plus. So you know they can get the ball out of the yard. You know they can get guys around the base with big hits. It's just that they're striking out too much. They're not walking quite as much against lefties, and their average is obviously down as a result. But I'm fading Ryu just as much as I'm backing this team to be fine against a lefty, and feeling good about Bradish, who he might give up a few runs here and there. I'm not sure if we'll see as quite as low of a scoring game as we did yesterday when these two teams played each other and went, I believe, 4-2 in that one. But still love Baltimore to take this game through the first 5 innings and be winning at the end of it. So at the end of 5. So last pitch here, we are talking about Brayan Bello, and Mr. Bello has been an outs machine. I'm going for his outs prop here, over 17.5. And that's minus 130 on DraftKings, 0.4 units on that one. Look, Bello's done this very, very consistently in terms of going 6 innings here. He's gone 6 innings or more in 8 of his past 9 starts. The only time he didn't do that was a very confusing start against Oakland that I don't really have much of an explanation for you, except for that Oakland randomly is very good on offense and can string like 7 hits in a row together. And that's how he got crushed in that last game and was not able to go very deep into it. That was like 3 weeks ago now against the A's. But like I said, other than that one bad outing, he's just been staying in the game for them and been a really nice innings eater. Like I said, going at least 6 in 8 of his past 9. So this Mariners offense, man, is just brutal. It's really, really bad. It's something that I thought they would address more, despite having a pretty nice lineup that hasn't worked out fully. Partly Luis Severino's been a big issue there. They had a nice 3-headed monster, and Logan Gilbert's also been underachieving. But more importantly for the hitting, that's the more of the main reason that I would say that this Mariners team is not going to make the playoffs most likely this season. Although they're only a game out behind the Angels, who are making a surge. So it's like they're still in it, but they're unloading at this point. Sewald, their closer's already in Arizona. So I'm going to continue to fade them. Don't worry about the 6 runs they scored last night. That was after the 8th inning when Nick Pivetta really started to get hit a little bit, and then the bullpen came in and wasn't able to handle it. But we don't need the bullpen to worry about them tonight. We just need Brayan Bello to get into the 6th inning, or really pitch through the 6th inning, get us those 18 outs, and we'll be good. So that is all the time I have for you in this one. Make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Continue to follow along, coming back to you each and every weekday this regular season. So until I see you next, happy betting.